McAllister.
In steps Caleb McAllister. About as decorated a black belt as you're going to come across after a very successful MMA career that spanned nearly a decade, 20-plus fights, transitioned seamlessly to professional grappling, competing for big shows like the Zapatero Invitational and PGF. Now, looking to stake his claim here at the JCI. But something tells me you're going to recognize the gentleman stepping in to take on the great Caleb McAllister.
Competing out of the red corner, representing Elite Edge and Gracie Fighter. Ladies and gentlemen, here is Josh Neer.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen at home and in attendance. It's that Josh Neer. Josh the Dentist Neer. UFC veteran and a real OG of the fight game. Maybe you remember his wars against Nick and Nate Diaz. He's been there, he's done that, he got the t-shirt. Tonight, he steps onto the grappling mat against about as deep of water, jumps into about the deepest waters you can in professional grappling against the great Caleb McAllister.
McAllister claims his best weapon is his cardio. He says nobody will get tired before he does, but I feel like Josh Neer is one to answer that challenge.
I think that's a fair bet. So we've already talked about it a couple of times, but let's revisit. The ability to transition to professional grappling after an MMA career, not only does it speak volumes about the person and their skill level, but about their desire to still compete. I mean, I'm going through Josh Neer's bio, and it's like, what has this guy not done already?
He's done it all. He's one of the best pioneers around. He's been in IFL, Bellator, UFC. He's fought bare knuckle. He's done grappling tournaments. He's fought the best of the best at the time, and he's still got it.
Yeah, from my understanding, as soon as he heard Jeff was going to be hosting this, it was Josh that reached out and said, I want in on that first card. So yeah, those competitive juices very much still flowing for the Dentist. Called the Dentist because he was known for knocking teeth out. Looking to put the lights out tonight on Caleb McAllister, but that is indeed a tall task. So both of these fighters, as I mentioned, McAllister himself had a very accomplished MMA career. But in years past, it's been McAllister that's been making waves in this grappling circuit. I'm sure Josh Neer is not just wanting to test himself, but he's looking to climb the ranks.
I like how Josh Neer is slowly moving forward, applying that pressure to McAllister. McAllister, still trying to off balance, but in those attempts to off balance, Josh Neer is advancing.
Yeah, he's just he's just keeping that pressure on, being very aware of the fact that he has a dangerous submission threat underneath him. Again, black belts, right? Also a factor that we quite haven't touched upon is Josh Neer does have a sizable weight advantage Close to 20-pound weight advantage on McAllister. We'll see as time elapses if that maybe plays a factor, right? Because he is carrying the weight of Neer when he's pressing into that butterfly guard.
Quick shout out to UFC legend and Iowa native Jeremy Stevens, who is watching at home cheering on his boy Neer.
Shout out Jeremy Stevens. Got a big fight coming up in bare knuckle.
That's another legend that has been there, done that, has a t-shirt.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. Jeremy Stevens. Yeah, he's accomplished just about everything there is. And we'll get right back to the grappling in a second, but talk about somebody that was made for bare knuckle boxing.
Oh, yeah.
He is most certainly in his realm, but back to the matter at hand, Josh Neer. Again,
Still
like you said,
patient,
methodical, patient.
Still being patient. And that's what you come to expect from a veteran like him.
As we go back up to the feet, Caleb McAllister, Josh Neer, sitting to guard, and it looked like
denied.
It looked like Josh made him pay for that little guard pull right there.
I'd like to see Caleb start pushing that pace from bottom that he talked about ahead of this match. That's what he's going to need to do. He's going to need to get a little bit more aggressive with it.
I think what's tricky about sitting inside the butterfly guard of somebody like McAllister is we've seen tonight that butterfly guard can be such a great avenue to those leg entanglements. You just have to kind of be extra weary with somebody like Caleb McAllister keeping those butterflies on your thighs. I like the way Neer was looking to collect the legs there. You see that sometimes from like the Dagestani guys, the way they lace up those legs and try to inch up to mount. Wise to it was McAllister.
Yeah, these two, I was just about to say the game plan of both of these guys seem to be canceling each other out in a way, and then we just saw a little bit of movement, a little glimmer of the path to take.
It didn't look like Josh cared to engage the seated guard of Caleb McAllister for, was that third or fourth time now?
This is one of those things. It's not working. I understand this is your game. It's not necessarily working. Now we're opening up to something else.
Potential toe hold here for Josh Neer as he takes
Maybe
the
grab that knee up. I like what I saw at the end of the round. Josh Neer clearly not happy about the way this match is going.
Well, I'm going to assume here that Josh isn't a fan of playing the seated guard jiu-jitsu.
No, I wouldn't think so.
You see him kind of imploring our referee, Mark the Shark Wallen.
And
but here we see
wow,
a flipping of positions for the first time in the match.
Interesting.
Nice job of opening the guard at the right time for Josh Neer.
McAllister trying to pin down the legs of Neer, and Neer is going for a Kimura attempt.
Sitting back for an ankle lock now is Caleb McAllister. Switching it to a heel hook. And looking to spin out as the dentist. A lot of time to work here if you're McAllister. Clearing the knee line, though, is Josh Neer.
I'd like to see Neer defend, come up on top, and then start mounting some offense.
Very smart is Josh Neer. He recognized that if he came out on top just by pressing in, he'd be giving up that leg. So smooth, though, is McAllister working his way back to the top. Sitting back once again for an ankle lock is Caleb McAllister.
Josh Neer not happy about this.
Josh Neer looking to clear that knee line once again, and he does.
Wise decision, grabbing both legs and looking to pass his Neer.
Well, he used that pass in regulation, and it looked great. It was how he led to that toe hold. But thus far in the overtime, it feels like it's been McAllister throwing up more of the attempts.
It has. He's been having those attempts. He's not trying to pass, so he's sitting to the leg, and now Josh Neer takes a page from his book.
Well, I think you kind of have to do that if you're in Josh's position, given what's happened thus far, knowing that whoever is hungriest for the submission in this period
he's
is
running out of time,
nod.
and he needs to show his work.
And that'll wrap up Neer versus McAllister, and we will await our judge's decision. As you mentioned, Josh, none too happy. At least doesn't seem all too happy with the way that bout went because, well, we know Josh is looking to come out here and look for a finish.
Exactly.
Not that McAllister isn't, but just different styles, maybe different approaches, different game plans.
It's the difference between an MMA fighter and a jiu-jitsu practitioner, in my humble opinion.
Well, no, I think, McAllister has made that transition from fighting MMA. Now he's very much in that jiu-jitsu competitor realm, right?
Yes. It's a different mentality.
It's a completely different mentality, exactly.
Grappling fans, your winner by unanimous decision. Out of the black corner, Caleb McAllister. And a round of applause to his opponent, Josh Neer. Our next matchup, this our co-feature in the middleweight division.